practical session on oilseeds processing and value addition. We have with us Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Tyagi, Acting PC AICRP PhD and Principal Scientist, ICARSIP at Ludhiana, as Session Chair for Special Address. Before starting the session, I would like to introduce Sir to you all. Sir has acquired his PhD Chemical Engineering degree from IIT Delhi and ME degree with specialization in Chemical Engineering from IIT Roorkee. He has around 32 years of teaching and research experience in the field of food processing. His research papers have been published in more than 40 peer-reviewed journals, 11 technologies have been developed and commercialized, and more than 50 international and national conference proceedings have been done, and Sir has around 5 patents. He is a member of the scientific panel on oils and fats in FSSAI, BIS, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and an expert member of stubble burning and empaneled expert with FAO. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sir. We welcome you to this webinar.
Good morning, everybody. I have given a topic that is oilseed processing in India and its future perspective. The background of Indian industry is the Indian Vegetable Oil Company is the world's fourth largest after the US, China and Brazil, harvesting about 25 million tons of oilseeds against the world. Since 1995, Indian share in world production of oilseed has been around 10%. And although India is a major producer of oilseeds, per capita oil consumption in India is only 10.6 kg per annum, which is low compared to 12.5 kg per annum in China, 20.8 kg per annum in Japan, 21.3 kg per annum in Brazil, and 48.0 kg per annum in USA. So our consumption is very low as compared to other countries. Even in Pakistan, the per capita consumption is more than us. And Indian oil seed production in 2013-14 basis, this 44% is soybean, then groundnut you can see, and 29% is mustard or rapeseed. In northeast area or in northern India, people like to consume mustard oil, and in central India, people like to consume this soybean, and in Karnataka, Maharashtra, and in that region of India, people try to consume sunflower oil, and coastal area people consume this coconut oil. So our requirement is much more than whatever we are producing. So we are importing the oil from the other countries. So there is always a shortage of oil in India. India is a major producer and consumer of oilseed and their products and is third largest rapeseed mustard producer in the world. Major rapeseed and mustard growing countries are China, Canada, the Indian subcontinent and Northern Europe. Rapeseed and mustard belongs to family Brassicaea. Indian mustard accounted for about 75 to 80% of the 5.92 million hectare area under the crop in the country during 2011 to 12. And most of the mustard oil expelling in India is done using mechanical expellers. Mustard oil is widely used as medium of preparation of pickles, chutney and other preparations. Now Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture is trying to increase the production of oilseed in the country, and government is introducing so much lucrative plans to attract the farmers to grow more oilseed in the country. Because in the recent past you can see the rate of mustard has increased so high that it is a most lucrative crop in northern India. In Rajasthan, people are going to grow mustard more because the cost of mustard seed is very high. Especially if we talk about the medicinal use of this oilseed, if we talk about the future in India, we can see that mustard oil is one of the major concern in that, because in CFET Ludhiana we have also developed so many value-added products from the mustard. They are very amazing. Beside the original use of mustard as such, as a cake or as a cooking oil, we have developed a lot of byproducts that is having a marvelous scope in future from mustard. So I would like to give some light on these issues here because the time is short. So I would focus more on mustard because we have developed so many byproducts from mustard seed. Friends, oilseed and oil processing are designed to obtain high quality oil with minimum undesirable components, achieve high extraction yields and produce high value meal. Crude fat and oil derived from plant and animal sources are subjected to several commercial refining processes before the final products reach the consumer market. During these processes, water, carbohydrates, proteins, pigments, as well as phospholipids, free fatty acids, sterols, waxes, and tocopherols are removed. As you know, there are two or three techniques for extraction of oil. One is the mechanical expression that is being done from centuries old from in different parts of country, and lot of machineries has been incorporated and modified time to time. So mechanical expression is the most available method for extraction of the oil seed, but it can confine to particular type of oil seeds. There are so many other oil seeds that cannot be extracted from mechanical expression. They can only be extracted by using the solvent extraction and all. As well as because once we extract the oil from mechanical expression, around 9 to 10% oil remains in the cake. So that is the wastage of the oil. So people have come up with some technologies in which first the oil is extracted out by mechanical expression in one pass, two pass, third pass, and finally whatever the oil remains in the cake that goes to the solvent extraction units, and then this oil is extracted from that, and then this oil is refined, and finally that oil is also used for the human consumption. In like soybean, suppose we are going for soybean extraction, then we are only one option with us to extract the oil by solvent extraction. Here one thing is very important. People say, what is the refining, refined oil or unrefined oil? That is very important issue that people like to discuss. Refined oil is one which is as such the oil is non suitable for human consumption, but after doing some chemical process or some other operations, if we convert it into edible form, then that process is said to be refining. So refined oil needs some chemical treatment as well as some other treatments, heating treatments. So I will also discuss what are the shortcomings, what are the advantages, and what are the disadvantages of the extraction through solvent extraction. Suppose we are talking about the rapeseed and mustard. In India, around 7.3 million hectares and 6 million tons, around productivity of 93 1.5 kg per hectare, we obtained in Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Assam, Bihar, and West Bengal. So this is the statistics representation of the production of rapeseed and mustard in India. But as a thumb rule, the diversified usage of oil with modified fatty acid composition is type 0 erucic acid oil is one which is having less than 2% of erucic acid, and its use is nutritionally superior. If it is having high linoleic acid around 40 to 50%, then it is also said to be nutritionally superior. If oleic acid is up to 70%, then this oil is also said to be nutritionally superior. If it is having high perstolinic acid, then it is used to be polymers, for making polymers. If very low linoleic acid is there in the oil seed, then it is increase its shelf life and it can be used as marigines. High linoleic acid, that is up to 40 to 55% or greater than 80%, it is used for industrial polymers, lubricants, plastic industries, cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. High esteric acid is used for marigines. So there are so many uses. Some industrial uses are there, some edible purposes are there. During refining, we extracted some byproducts, and these byproducts are used as a raw material for making some certain other industrial products. Now, actually, because the time is short, so I will confine the work which we have done on mustard in Ludhiana. Use of mustard, you know, it is as edible oil. There are two types of mustard oil which are popular in India, that is kachi ghani and refined mustard oil. The kachi ghani type is preferred by most of the consumers due to its characteristic color and pungency. The refined oil is preferred by the health conscious people. The oil has a distinctive pungent taste, characteristic of all plants in the mustard family. It can be used as spices, and now it can be used as a fertilizer, and it is used as a preservation medium because it is having certain chemicals, that is the thiocyanate group, and it can have a antibacterial properties and it can be used for that. The fat and oil undergo four processing steps. First is extraction, another one is refining, utilization or degumming, then bleaching and deodorization. Suppose we cannot consume oil as a virgin oil by mechanical extraction, then if we are going for the chemical extraction, then these are the steps which we have to follow. Extraction means we have to crush the cake in a fine particle size, and then we add either petroleum ether or hexane, and we heat it at 80 degrees centigrade for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Finally, we extract the oil that is soluble in the solvent. But in this process, not only oil comes with the solvent, but also all chemicals which are soluble in solvent comes out. So the color of the oil is not as such as it is of virgin oil. So the second step is refining or neutralization or degumming. In this, we remove the saturated fatty acid from the oil seed and we make a soap. It can be done either by chemical method or by physical refining. So this is a second step after extraction of the oil by solvent extraction. In this, we remove the saturated fatty acid in the form of soap. And third step is bleaching. In this, we remove the color by adding activated earth or activated charcoal into it. It is a material which is used as bleaching earth. That is sodium aluminum silicate. We remove the color that is mainly yellow and red, and after removing this color, the color of the extracted oil is acceptable or its aesthetic appeal is appearing good for the human consumption. But it is also having some odor. So finally we give the steam treatment for deodorization. That is, in this way, the unwanted flavor of the extracted oil is removed. But the disadvantage of this refining process is that because it has to go multiple heat treatment, so trans fats are generated, and these are responsible for generation of free radicals in our body, causing cancer in future. So as such, it is a thought of the day that one should use a virgin oil and should avoid the extraction of the oil through chemicals, or we should avoid the refined oils for the consumption. But the problem is that we are already having a shortage of oil seed in the country. So because our consumption is even low, but because the oils are responsible for our health, they are the source of solubilization of vitamins in our body. So we have to consume the oil and we have to increase the intake of the oil seed. And for this, either we have to produce much oil seed in the country, or we have to go for a very special treatment of the oil that is fit for our health point of view. Basic steps before extraction of oils are cleaning, drying, dehulling, size reduction, flaking, cooking and tempering. It depends from seed to seed. Suppose we are going to extract the oil of the groundnut, then we have to give some heat treatment prior to extraction, and different type of oil seeds need special treatments for extraction of oil in a better way. And oil extraction, solvent extraction, mechanical extraction are two common oil seed extraction processes, and even in many places the combination of these two are used. And because if the oil content is more, then first mechanical extraction is to be done, and then subsequently the solvent extraction is to be done. If the content of oil is low, then we can go directly for the solvent extraction. But for the theoretical point of view, or for the you say for the academic point of view, the supercritical carbon extraction method is also used, but it is used for the oil seed which are having very small oil content, like turmeric oil, like you can say this mango kernel oil. So in that way, for extraction, we can go for carbon dioxide, supercritical carbon dioxide extraction technique. But this is very costly. It is not as such used for the as such for cooking oil purpose. Seeds, on the basis of seed, we can go for the special treatments. That may be some enzyme aided treatments, some water extraction techniques, some chemical treatments, some steam treatments. There are so many pre-treatment techniques are there. As I have already discussed, solvent extractions is to be done by either by petroleum ether or by hexane for different oil seeds. And the refining, I have already discussed that the refining is to be done by for removing the saturated fatty acids, and these are multiple steps. Either one step or two steps we have to go for that. So I am not going in detail in that. And there is physical and chemical refining. In chemical refining, we have to treat it with alkali, and in physical refining, we go with steam treatments. On the basis of the temperature, we can remove so many aromatic compounds, and that is in the form of degumming. And this steps is nowadays more accepted. That is physical refining, so that at least get rid from chemical treatment at least one step. Physical refining, steam refining is one part, chemical refining or caustic refining is another. So we can have the comparison of these two in degumming, removing of phosphatides through enzymes. Here degumming with the help of phosphoric acid. Here bleaching, that is color removal through activated bleaching earth. Here neutralization with caustic based for removal of free fatty acids. It is dewaxing, filter pressing, it is bleaching. Here steam deacidification, that is removal of free fatty acid. Here it is SS dewaxing. It is winterization, it is deodorization, and further steps are bleaching and deodorization. But the cost of operation in physical refining is little bit more because it needs more steps as compared to chemical refining. I have already discussed the bleaching as with you, and this is deodorization. This has also been discussed. Dehulling of mustard seed is one of the operation. This mustard oil is preferred for its pungency and it's much liked by the people in the northern and northeastern part of the country because of the presence of hulls in the seed coat which imparts the color to the oil and also a major part of pungency because of bitter compounds present in it. A need has been felt to dehull the mustard seed before extracting its oil. This technique is developed at CFET Ludhiana. In this, we remove the hull first, and it has also been observed that after dehulling the seed, it will be possible to convert non-edible oil cake, mostly used as an animal feed, into edible one, and also dried many other byproducts from the cake. It was considered desirable to develop a low-cost and low-energy process for dehulling the seed. We worked on that, and we got so many patents for getting this dehulling of the mustard seed, and we extracted this bittering compound from the mustard seed and developed so many products with this product, and now many of them has been commercialized and very much in the market. If we want to reduce the cost of the oil, then we have to focus on the byproduct which has been obtained from the mustard or other oil seed extraction techniques, and if we are able to develop some innovative products from the byproducts of the refining process, then only we can provide a cheaper version of the oil to the country people, and then that would be a breakthrough. That is a requirement of the hour. We have extracted allyl isothiocyanate from mustard seed. This is a patented technology, and from this allyl isothiocyanate we developed many things. You can see the first, it is a whole mustard seed at the top. We ground it, and this is the second, and then we separated the mustard hull from this, and we obtained dehulled mustard powder. We got first patent on this to get, we develop a technique in which we can dehull the mustard seed, and mustard hull is removed. Now from dehulled mustard powder, we extracted mustard oil, we extracted allyl isothiocyanate, we extracted de-oiled, defatted, dehulled mustard flour that is having 47.8% protein. We got second patent on this, and we got third patent for extraction of allyl isothiocyanate. And you see, from de-oiled, defatted, dehulled mustard flour, we obtained protein isolate that is 99%. That is hydrolyzed plant protein, and it is we developed biscuits, breads, and different other food products with this de-oiled, defatted, dehulled mustard flour, and it is very much in market and very famous product. And we published a paper. It is having a very good citation in the world. And also after extracting the protein isolate from this, we extracted the fiber from this de-oiled, defatted mustard flour. And from the allyl isothiocyanate which we obtained, we developed a material which is very important to slow down the urea decomposition during soil. So slow release urea material we have developed from this, and so many antibacterial substances we developed from this allyl isothiocyanate, and these technologies have been commercialized, and many innovative products have been developed with the help of this allyl isothiocyanates. So nowadays, friends, it is the time to focus on the value addition or to develop innovative products from the byproducts obtained during refining or during extraction of the oils. So that time has gone just to use oil as such and just to use cake for the animal purpose. So we have to focus to develop some innovative products from the byproducts which has been obtained during refining process. So this is the requirement of the hour. So after oil extraction, the mustard meal obtained has only been utilized for feeding ruminants and it is not exploited for food oblique feed uses for human as well as non-ruminants such as broiler and fish due to the presence of toxic constituents and undesirable bittering compounds. ICR CFAT has developed technologies and obtained 3 patents. On this, the protein obtained by patented method can be utilized for preparation of protein hydrogenate, which may find various uses as taste enhancer in food products such as soups, sauces, meat products, snacks, etc. We obtained these 5 patents, 4 5 patents in this. One is low energy process of dehulling of mustard seeds, pre-grinding of oil seeds prior to mechanical expelling, new process for energy saving, a new technique for processing the mustard seed for reducing refining cost and improving quality of oil, a process of separating a compound containing allyl isothiocyanate from mustard seed. So these are the things which we have done so far. With this, I hope that we can focus on other oilseed also, because there are so many innovative products can be developed from even from cottonseed oil, because in cottonseed that is mainly used for this cottonseed for making bakery products. In bakery products, the cottonseed oil is used because it is having no grease type of materials. It gives the crispiness to the products, bakery products. So by using the byproducts, by using the value added products, we can reduce the refining cost or we can reduce the end product cost, and we can attract the farmers for growing more oil seed to get their income more as comparison to wheat, or you can say paddy or corn. So they have to come up to produce more oil seed if they are having scope for getting more remuneration after getting these innovative products. So with this, I would like to say that in future we should focus on these issues. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really an insightful session on overview of oilseeds production and various processing methods. We will proceed to the next technical talk, which is on advances in storage technologies for oilseeds. For this session, we have with us Dr. Durai Murugan, Principal Scientist, ICAR, IIOR, Hyderabad. Sir got a doctoral degree from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore in Agricultural Entomology and MSc degree from University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. He has around 18 years of experience in the field of insect-plant interactions, biological control and storage entomology. His research papers have been published in more than 64 reviewed journals and popular articles, 33 book chapters and 72 research abstracts. Sir was awarded as Dr. S.K. Ballal and Professor A.V. Rangarajan Award from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. To his credit, Sir is a gold medalist in UAS Bangalore and also awarded the Scientist Award 2020 for his outstanding contributions in the field of agricultural entomology. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah, good morning to all. I am going to present advances in storage technologies for oilseeds. Coming to the status of oilseeds, actually in India, oilseeds are third largest agriculture commodities after cereals and pulses, which occupies about 30% of the gross cropped area. In India, total 9 annual oilseeds are being cultivated, which includes 7 edible oilseeds. Like soybean, rapeseed, mustard, groundnuts, sesame, sunflower, safflower, Niger, and 2 non-edible oilseeds, which includes castor and linseed. These 9 oilseed crops are being cultivated in about 29 million hectare area with a production of 37 million tons. But if you see, 72% of these oilseed crops are being cultivated under rainfed ecosystem, especially by small and marginal land holdings. So the productivity is very low, especially 13 quintal per hectare as compared to the cereal crops. If you see the production contribution of different oil seeds, only 3 oilseed crops, soybean, rapeseed, mustard, and groundnut alone contributes 89% of the production. But if you see the different states contributing oilseed production, only 4 states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, these 4 states contribute almost 75% of the production. In addition, groundnut and sesame seeds contributes a large share in export. Annually, we are earning a foreign exchange of almost 9,000 crores. This is the status of oilseed crops in India. Coming to the post-harvest losses, which includes from harvesting operations to storage. So based on the recent reports and literatures, the post-harvest losses, including storage losses, ranges from 2.3 to 10% in different oilseed crops, which is equal to almost 2.2 million tons. And based on the latest production and minimum support price, we calculated the economic value, which was found to be almost 10,000 crores. So this is the post-harvest losses occurring in oilseed crops, including storage losses. So recently, NAPCON's, based on the NAPCON's report, the post-harvest losses in oilseed crops are almost lower than the cereal crops and the horticulture crops, but it is higher than the pulses. So we have to focus more on oilseed crops as compared to the pulse crops. So this is the losses occurring in different post-harvest operations at the farm level, from harvest to storage. The major contribution is from harvesting, threshing, collection contributes a major loss, followed by cleaning and storage. So almost storage contributes 0.22% of the total post-harvest loss of 4.26%. That means almost 5% losses for occurring in the post-harvest operations. So this is the important in case of oilseed crops. So in one of the recent research paper, here you can see, especially soybean, groundnut, and sesame, they are highly susceptible in storage conditions, and there are a lot of losses occurring during storage, especially soybean, groundnut, and sesame. Here in this paper, you can see almost 1.5 kg of soybean and ground seeds are lost per quintal. That is equal to 15 kg per hectare of soybean and 18 kg per hectare of groundnut per hectare. So this is the biggest impact among the post-harvest losses in these three oilseed crops. So what is the reasons? So what are the causes of storage losses in these oilseed crops? If you see, there are almost 6 insect pests and mold growth. It's a major factor in contributing the post-harvest loss, including storage losses, mainly storage losses in this oilseed crop. We will see one by one now. If you see the groundnut broaching, you see the groundnut crop, 65% of the produce are being stored up to 9 months, either as unshelled pods or kernels, by the farmers, especially for seed purpose, for the processors, for oil extraction and confectionaries, and similarly by the exporters for export. So in many cases, a storage loss of 10 to 25% was reported, especially due to insect pest and mold growth, and also due to rodents. And in addition, there are many export rejections, especially in groundnut, because of this infestation due to groundnut broaching and aflatoxin contamination. So coming to the groundnut broaching, it is a serious storage pest of groundnut, not only in India, in other parts of the world also. It damages both the kernel and also in the pods. It feeds both pods and kernels internally, which results in increase in temperature and moisture. So which favors the growth of aflatoxin, and then again secondary pests like rice moth and treadful beetle also causes this damage. The another one important one is the aflatoxin contamination in groundnut. Though it is occurring in other crops also, it is a major problem in groundnut. These aflatoxin producing fungi, Aspergillus flavus and Parasiticus, colonize and contaminate the kernels. Actually, these contamination occurs especially during the pre-harvest time, or field drying time, or curing time, or during storage time. So it leads to deterioration in both the quantity and quality of the groundnut, not only groundnut, but also its products like oil and cake, which is highly harmful to human being and also for animal health when the cake was fed to the animals. Another important pest is the copra beetle, especially in North Indian Peninsula. It's a major problem in almost all crops, from groundnut, sesame, sunflower, safflower, linseed, soybean, and red mustard. This all, and some of the times the export resistance due to the presence of this insect pest in mustard. And in addition, it also attacks the products like soya meal and oil cakes also. And it's a general feeder. It also attacks milk powder, dried meat, and dog foods also. The another important one is the red flower beetle. Actually, in recent years, especially in sesame, we are recording more damage due to this pest, especially the white-seeded sesame. As compared to black and brown seeded sesame, these white seeded sesames were highly susceptible to storage pest, especially to this red flower beetle and rice moth. In addition, it also attacks the groundnut crop also. The another important problem is the rice moth. It is a polypagous pest that attacks many cereals and other crops, including oil seeds. It attacks sesame, groundnut, sunflower, and safflower. You can see the damage here. Especially recent years, there is a lot of damage in white seeded sesame by this moth. The another important one is the bruchid. The pulse, it is also called pulse beetle. In addition to pulses, especially in soybean, it's a major problem, and it damages the entire. Sometimes it up to 100% damage. It is causing under favorable conditions. And again, that will not be suitable for any for seed purpose also, or for consumption by human beings and animals also. So this is also one of the important pest problem during storage. The recent years, we are getting more problem, especially due to the sesame seed bug, are also called pod bug. This is the pod bug. You can see here, this is the sesame seed harvested and occurred in threshing floor. These are the bugs. You can see how many number of bugs are damaging the seeds. It causes both the qualitative and also quantity losses. It leads to reduction in oil content also, and also weight loss also. In some of them, it also attacks on the sesame and groundnut. Not only in threshing floor, even in harvesting after storage also, it is attacking the sesame and groundnut crop, which leads to shriveling of the seeds which are unfit for consumption, and also for and also oil content will be reduced. This is another major problem in storage. So now we have seen the reasons for the problems. What are the problems in storage? Now we are going to the technology to reduce the storage losses in oilseeds. Especially most of the storage problem initiate from the field. So we have to take care of the field operation, especially harvesting. So harvesting at right time, at right maturity stage is very, very important in case of oilseed crops. And especially during harvesting, we got to avoid the damage to the pods. That will lead to a lot of contamination by the insect pest and also the mold growth. So we have to avoid heaping the produce in the field, especially for long days. That will cause a lot of insect infestation and also this mold growth. Similarly, the harvested produce immediately to be dried properly. For example, in groundnut, you can use the inverted windrow method that it can be used immediately. Similarly, especially for groundnut, and the heaping in the near the alternate host should be avoided. So immediately after has the harvest, it should be properly threshed, dried, and immediately packed. Otherwise, the alternate host, especially groundnut bruchid, which contaminates from the trees to the groundnut harvested produce. Similarly, avoid carryover of the pest from the most of the beetles like pulse beetles, even pod bugs, and some of the painted bug in mustard, especially in rapeseed mustard. Actually, this carryover of the pest from field to store, even less than 1% damage in the field or cause 100% damage in storage. So we have to take care of the proper management practices in the pod maturity stage of oil seeds that will greatly reduce the loss in the storage. Actually, compared to other crops, the manual harvesting is more in case of harvesting and other operations more in oil seeds. That is causing a lot of damage to the pods. If you see here, the mechanization level of oil seed crops is only 20 to 30%. This is based on the latest report. Harvesting threshing in oil seeds is only 20 to 30%, as compared to 80 to 90% in case of cereals. So we have to encourage the mechanization in oil seeds, especially combined harvesters that is commonly used in many crops like soybean, safflower, sunflower, and even mustard also it has been recommended. So these combined harvesters, threshers, and dryers to be encouraged among the farmers that will greatly reduce the loss in the storage conditions. So similarly, the major problem of insect pest and other quality or quantity loss occurs in storage is due to inadequate drying. This is very, very important. That leads to insect infestation, fungi, then moisture, which results in overheating, then discoloration, that to complete deterioration in the quality and also quality of the oil seeds and their products. So this is very, very important. So we got to use the dryers. There are several solar operated dryers are nowadays available that can be encouraged among the farmers to reduce the moisture content in the harvested products. Similarly, for case of groundnut, kernel, and pods, 4 to 6% moisture is recommended. For kernels, 4 to 6%, and pods, 7 7 to 9% moisture content is recommended for storage. Before storage, it should be properly monitored. Similarly, for other oilseed crops, less than 8% moisture to be maintained, and we have to remove the broken and damaged seed, which is favorable for the growth of mold and the insect infestation. So this is very, very important practices. So these are some of the mechanization. We want to encourage mechanization. This operation will greatly reduce the post-harvest losses and also which reduces the storage losses because of the avoiding the damage to the grains and seeds. So combined harvester and soybean reaper binder, and there are several decoordinators, thrusters, and oilseed soybean or oilseed dryers are available. Even solar bubble dryers are also available. That can be encouraged among the farmers, either in a community basis or a village level basis. That will greatly reduce the storage losses in oilseed crops. So coming to the storage condition, what are the technologies? The first important one is the disinfestation of storerooms. Actually, the godowns or wherever you are storing the place, especially in the high risk areas like wherever the cracks in the walls and floors and the low light areas needs to be properly checked and it should be disinfected. That will give you a lot of difference in reducing the losses in storage. That is a basic step, but it's very, very important one. Similarly, use of the clean storage bags, actually avoiding the use of very old money bags or jute bags, that should be avoided. And even it is possible you can expose them to sunlight for a couple of days before storing the oilseed. That is very important. Similarly, storing of old or infested stocks in godown along with the newly harvested one creates a lot of cross contamination. So that should be prevented. And whenever storing, that we have to allow proper ventilation and space for inspection. So that is a basic step that is very, very important to reduce and monitor the storage loss in the oilseed crops. Similarly, we have to encourage the storing in polythene-lined triple layer bags or metal drums or cover and pilch storage methods that will give a lot of reduction in the storage problems. So we tried several bags for sesame storage, especially you can see here the sesame seeds which are stored in HDB bag, which resulted in low storage losses due to the red flow, the rice moth and red flow beetle as compared to the commonly used jute gunny bag and cloth bag. And even for groundnut, these triple layer bags are found effective in reducing the storage losses due to mold and also blue chip problem. Also, coming to the another important one, especially for long-term storage or for export purposes, these physical or cultural methods are very, very important. Nowadays, this hermetic storage or modified atmospheres are very popular, like super bags and cocoon storage and silo bags. They are very, very popular. That can be encouraged among the farmers and also in the market level channels to reduce the loss in these oilseed crops. In addition, that airtight storage, that sealed structures, as I told, super bag, cocoon storage and silo bags are very good in conserving the quality and also the reducing the losses due to insect pest and mold growth. In addition, the controlled atmospheres like use of low oxygen and high carbon dioxide, it is lethal to all insects that can be promoted in export purpose, especially for storing near the harbors. That will give that will prevent the export rejections in the foreign countries due to insect pest and fungal growth. Similarly, temperature control. Temperature plays a major role. Actually, the insect pest will not develop below 15 degrees Celsius and also more than 42 degrees Celsius. So heating of the seeds to 50 to 60 degrees Celsius for 10 to 20 minutes kill all the pests. So that can be followed in a large scale, especially in a large bulk storage in oilseed crops used for oil extractions. Similarly, the another important one is the regular monitoring and the yearly detection of the infestation. Very, very important. As I told, this very low infestation of less than 1%, we will give potential risk in the storage. So we can monitor using it. There are a lot of pheromone traps now available for storage pests and light traps and pitfall traps, probe traps. Even recently, e-nose detectors are also available that can be used for timely monitoring and management of the initial infestation. That will create a lot of reduction in the storage losses. Similarly, infested stock, once identified, it should be removed, sun-dried and properly cleaned, then only it will be stored with the old stocks. Similarly, there's glade dust and diatomaceous earth can be used to on stored seed. Because many times stored seeds are not followed any proper methods, that will create cross contamination among the other crops also. So that is very important. Similarly, you can use this, especially this can be used for groundnut kernels and oil seeds, which is used for seed purpose. Recently, these UV traps are also UV light trap very much effective in controlling some pot bug that can be promoted to reduce the losses due to these bugs. Another important one is the use of different edible and non-edible oils, especially at the rate of 10 ml per kg seed, can be used effectively enough to storage pest. Especially groundnut pods, when you treat with neem seed kernel powder at the rate of 10 gram per kg, or neem oil 5 ml per kg, or pudamia or castor oil 10 ml per kg, or a kernel treated with neem leaves 50 gram per kg are effective against this bruchids, groundnut bruchids. Similarly, for sesamum, we found that the seeds treated with neem leaf powder 25 gram per kg, or neem seed kernel powder 10 gram per kg, or this is the sweet flag rhizome powder. This is Saccharose calamus, 10 gram per kg, effective against stored pest. This can be used for storing the seeds, especially for next season sowing. And there are several biopesticides, especially different strains of BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, can be used for management of moth pest and also some of the beetle pest. And wherever when you use insecticide, we should know the label claim of the insecticide, which is approved by the government of India. Then only you have to use it. So for good on treatment, deltamethrin is recommended, and similarly for fumigation, aluminum phosphine is having approved under CABRC label claim that it can be used. And some of the recently eco-friendly biorational insecticides like spinosad, methoprene, hydroprene are registered as grain protein in USA, but in India it is not having label claim. These are all found effective in storage pest. These are biorational one. It's a synthetic analog of natural product that can be used for management of storage pest. So this is the CABRC website. We have this aluminum phosphide is permitted for oilseed crops in addition to other oilseed products that can be used for fumigation as per the recommendation by the government of India, and it may be updated every year by seeing the website, CABRC website. So only the label claim insecticides and fumigants so only to be used for management of the storage pest in case of oilseed crops. So the fumigation is very highly toxic. It should be performed only by the certified and specialist only. So the proper especially proper arranging of seeds and creating airtight condition and measuring the concentration before and after fumigation is very important. So it should be strictly undertaken with the specialist to reduce the storage losses in oilseed crops. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session on storage practices and pest management. Now we will move on to the next technical talk. For this, I would like to invite Dr. Mahesh Kumar, Professor, Department of Processing and Food Engineering, PAU Ludhiana. Sir has obtained his PhD degree and MTech degree from Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana. Sir has about 15 years of teaching and research experience in the field of processing and food engineering. He was awarded by Punjab State Marketing Board, Chandigarh, for contributions to training progressive farmers of FAPRO village in the area of agro-processing. He has developed many processing equipment and technologies such as portable maize dryer, agri-food, and the development of mechanically ventilated onion store, etc. Sir's key area of interest include post-harvest handling and processing for value addition to agricultural produce. Now, Sir will provide us insights on modern techniques and machines for extraction of oil. We welcome you to this webinar, sir.
First of all, I thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to have a discussion with a very learned group. I could see Dr. S.K. Tyagi participating. So, Dr. Sahib has a very long and personal experience in the area of the oilseed processing. So, similarly, everybody is an expert of his field. So, therefore, thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity. So the field is, I will be discussing about the oilseed processing as well as the milling machinery involved. So we all know, we have been listening throughout the day, right, that oilseed is the second largest commodity next only to the food grains. So if you look at the total Indian scenario, we are very good as far as the production of food grains is concerned in the country. So agricultural scientists have performed marvelously well. So in case of oilseed, our total rank in the world is fifth, with total share is 7% only in case of oilseed. But we are growing. For the last few years, our production of oilseed has been rising in the country.
Can you make it full screen?
Okay, okay, ma'am. So now food oilseed production has been increasing as per our demand is. So if you look at the scenario of processing in the country, it is more or less considered as a cottage industry. We have huge amount of coals operating in the country, but the oil left in the de-oiled cake is quite high, 15% with this technology. Even though the people prefer the oil extracted out of the coals primarily because they considered it as a cold pressed oil. So, but the total oil could not be expressed through these units. Now we have more than 60,000 mechanical oil expellers. Well, it is a better technology than the coals, but still 6 to 8% oil is left in the de-oiled cake. Since our country is deficient in the oil, so therefore still it is very high. So we have to resort to the solvent extraction plant using hexane, etc., where the meal or the de-oiled cake has less than 1% of the oil left in it. So then there are 300 oil refineries and over 175 hydrogenated vegetable oil plants in the country. Then we also get oil from the agricultural processing byproduct like rice bran and the maize shell. But as far as overall situation is concerned, especially in the northern part of India, we are more give more preference towards this mustard oil. 90% of the total agricultural production in mustard and rapeseed, including canola, is crushed for extracting the edible oil. In fact, 2/3 of the edible oil consumption in the country is coming from this category of the crop, that is mustard. Canola is recently developed oilseed crop variety of the mustard, which has got less than 2% uracic acid, and its de-oiled cake has less than 30 micromoles of glucosinolate per gram of the de-oiled milk. So this is a bit of toxic material. If you look at the physically oilseed composition, physically it's considered as a mixture of oil, then meal, basically composed of proteins and water. When we talk about processing, this means we wish to remove most of the oil to get the de-oiled cake. So de-oiled cake will be containing a residual oil as well as some amount of water. But since de-oiled cake is a very good source of protein, so it is generally used for the animal feed purpose. Now, we know every grain, if it has to be stored, it has got a maximum moisture content limit for safe storage. So same is here also, but we eventually have to store the seeds, maybe oil seed or any other food grains, primarily because they are available once or twice in a year, but they are needed throughout the year. Moisture content in the oil seed is not only important for the storage purpose, but it is also important for the expressing of oil out of the oil seed. If the moisture content is not controlled, then there is every chance of microbial growth. So as a thumb rule, when we teach to our student, we consider 10% moisture content for most of the food grains to be safe for the storage purpose. But when we are processing the seed grains for oil expelling, then it should be 6 to 8, 7 to 9%. Well, previously the post-harvest losses were discussed in the oil or seeds, but in case of mustard, it is about 9%, which include losses in the supply chain also. Even though storage losses are not that much, but because of the handling, transportation, logistic, etc., so there are losses in different types of oilseed grains ranging from 3% to 10%. Now, if you coming to the extraction of oil at a small scale level as a cottage industry, then few things are overall layout will be like this. We require to store the oil seeds either in bags or in bulk. So we require a grain silo. So grain silo contain oilseed which has been cleaned. Then these grains could be picked up by the auger, by the screw conveyor to feed to the oil expelling unit. But then there is some magnetic separator on the way. And then there are in the hopper, there are automatic level indicators. So whenever it is filled to the top, the elevator will stop. Once it is being emptied on through this mill, the lower limit, the level of the seed grains is lower than the sensor placed, it will automatically start operating so that it always maintain a level of oil seed in the hopper. Oil seed then goes to the oil expeller, which removes the oil as well as produces the cake. The oil is stored in pressed oil tank. It is stored here because it still contains some suspended impurities called foot. So that needs to be removed either by sedimentation, centrifugation, or there could be number of other methods also. But usually in Punjab, we follow the sedimentation. We allow the suspended particle to settle for overnight. We allow it about 24 hours so that all the suspended matter will settle down at the base. Rest of oil is then taken out through a pump to the oil filter, that is filter press, which removes all the impurities, all the undesirable physical constituents, and send this cleaned oil to another tank, which is then linked with the packaging plant, packaging unit. Well, as already we have discussed, we need to store the oil seeds. Primarily, oil remains safe, it do not turn rancid, so that it is there in the seed itself. So once it is expressed out of the seed, then oxidative changes happen which bring rancidity. So this is the one reason that it is better to store the oil seed than the oil itself. Oil seed presses are relatively slow. Means there are few number of units, but we are in a crushing, in the harvesting season, we get a lot of crop. So it cannot be immediately converted into the oil. So therefore we need to store it. And third reason is agriculture production is season based. So therefore different time we get different types of crop. So we have to store the oil seed. Now why we need to clean? In any processing job, the first step is cleaning, grading, sorting. So in this case, Weed seeds like argemone, which are present at the time of harvest, may interfere with the extraction of oil during the expulsion process. So these seeds may add unwanted taste or chemicals to the expressed oil. Moreover, if the seeds are dirty, they contain some of the abrasive clay parts or abrasive materials, well then that will be having more of wear and tear of our expelling machine. So there is a physical hazards presented by uncleaned grains. As far as the processing steps are concerned, it is very simple. We need to store the grain. Cleaning after storage or cleaning before further processing. Well, it is a matter of choice. Some people, when we have it stored in the bags, then we clean before operation. Then next is a decortication, removal of hulls, etc. Then send it for grinding. Then we have a mechanical expelling unit which removes the oil and cake. Well, usually it is always preferred that crude oil be filtered physically and then packaged. But still, deodorizing usually we carry out at our homes, especially in case of the mustard. When we purchase mustard from the market, usually on bringing at our homes, we try to raise its temperature so that all the deodorizing things or moisture, etc., if it is there, it is removed. Well, neutralizing means the removal of free fatty acid that usually is not performed at small scale. Well, there are a number of options available that have been developed over a period of time, starting from the bullock-drawn kohlu or ghanis. Now we have power-operated ghanis. We have mechanical expelling units of different capacity. The amount of oil extracted depends upon its setting of the machine, the screw speed of the screw, the space left between the tip and in the barrel itself. So we have adjustable tip diameters and variable speed drives. So both of these, combination of these can give an optimized oil extraction. Well, one of the things which is very important while we are extracting the oil is if oil seed is too dry, we won't be able to get easy and good quantity of oil. The reason could be that the oil mill will get heated up. Usually there is a concept of cold pressed oil, so that will be then defeated. Purpose will be defeated. We won't be getting oil, as well as temperature will be on higher side. On the other hand, if the moisture content is more, we will get a gummy type of the cake. Again, more of the moisture will also not help us to carry out easy separation of these cake and the oil. So therefore it has to be very ideal. So usually it is in the range of 7 to 8%. Then as we have discussed earlier in our diagram, after removal of oil through the oil expeller, which is a mechanical in nature, the oil goes into the pressed oil tank. Well, that tank has due care should be given to it. First, it should be stainless steel or a food grade plastic material. iron, aluminium, copper, that needs to be avoided because these metals, they help in the oxidation of the oil. So there should be smooth surface, but it should not be considered as unimportant component. Pressed oil tank is important for any food item. We should try to use as a safety stainless steel. Well, this, as already we have discussed, the oil after extraction is not a totally separated one. It contains suspended particles which we call as foot. That is need to be removed. So usual practice followed here in Punjab is the sedimentation. We allow the oil to settle in the press tank itself. So therefore, the oil will remain in that tank for more than 24 hours. So therefore, the material of construction of that is very important. So next step, after sedimentation or settling of the foot or debris contained in the oil, it is then further filtered through the filter press. So with the help of a pump, which is not a centrifugal pump usually, it is a gear pump or diaphragm pump. It is not a centrifugal pump, which pushes the seed into this filter press, which removes any of the physical impurity which is still could not be settled down. Once filtered, again oil is pumped to the clean oil tank, which is basically a storage unit we can call. Well, once oil is extracted out, there is every fear of it is going rancid, especially after period of exposure to the air or the moisture. So therefore, it is very important, if it is wherever possible, to keep extracted oil away from oxygen. We could use number of techniques. Maybe night we can have a tank with a valve attached, flush it with the nitrogen. So because of the flushing of nitrogen oil, the oxygen will move out of that tank from the headspace environment. Or we can use a vacuum wherever possible. But there are few constituents in the oil which resist rancidity, like tocopherols or carotenoids, but there are more of a pro-oxidant component present in the oil, just like water, material metal like iron, copper, lipid, polar lipid, chlorophylls. So these are the constituents which help for the oil to get oxidized. So we have to be very careful thereafter. Well, when we are working at small scale level, we always prefer a minimally processed oil because it retains all the flavors and pungency or aroma, etc. So in our Punjab, we have advocating this concept of agro-processing complex, in which it is a part, oil expeller is a one part, with having a capacity of about 70 to 100 kg of oil per hour. Means we get that much of the product which can be easily distributed in the nearby villages, or it could be easily goes to the consumer readily. So these are the few examples of what we are doing at our department in the Punjab Agricultural University. PAU is promoting canola oil seed. So few varieties have come up here. So those varieties we procure at our processing plant. After cleaning, it is expressed in the mechanical expellers. Thereafter, we filter the same, send for bottling, and it goes for the consumer at the PAU itself, because there are more than 5,000 residents at our campus. Oil cake goes to the animal feed unit in the veterinary university. So the type of machinery involved is the mechanical oil expeller, a filter press, oil pump, storage tank, bottling and packaging system. The total cost of plant and machinery leaving behind the civil structure is about uh, is about 5 lakhs. The total electricity load required for a small capacity oil expeller is 10 kilowatt. Well, this plant could be erected in about at the most 10 feet by 10 feet, but the covered area minimum should be 50 square yard. So it gives employment to the 2%. If you look at the supply chain integrated with the agriculture side, so we see the oil seed being produced in the field, grain going to the mechanical unit, where oil is produced, which is used for food purpose. It is going for the food purpose, but after, if we are using for cooking or for deep frying, after few times of usage, it become rancid and going for the esterification for fuel production, biodiesel, etc. And the meal going to the animals as a feed, and both of these units again contributing to the agriculture. Now there is a recently concept of cold pressed oils. This is how the advertisement in many of the uh, advertiser or the companies which is promoting the selling this oil, edible oil is promoting. Cold pressed oil means an oil whose temperature remains below 50 degree during the production process. While our objective of expelling the oil is to get maximum yield from the oil seed, but from the consumer point of view, its temperature should always be lower than the 50 degrees centigrade. So oil pressed at a temperature below 50 degrees is termed as cold pressed oil. So it is believed that it has got better nutritional properties. But one of the things which I could understand is that it is the phosphorus based constituent or gummy material which when get into the oil make it rancid, even if it is present in very minute quantity, maybe less than or up to 1%, which many a times may not be helpful for the in the oil which is used for consumption. So that is why a concept of cold press oil is there. Cold press oil means we have to control the speed of our auger so that the temperature is lower. Even though we are working slowly, we may like that the capacity of the system is getting lower, but at the time we have to give a sufficient time for the squeezed oil to drip out of the machine, and in the same while the temperature is also contained, it is not going up that way. So the oil which is cold pressed oil is considered to be very nutritional and containing characteristic flavor of the oil seed. But if I look at the commercial side of it, we usually expel oil in a 3-pass system. If first we expel the oil from the mechanical system, whatsoever oil cake is left, it is again fed to the same unit, again expelled. So this way we carry out 3 time passes. The oil expressed at the first time is of better quality, but as they continue to press oil mechanically, there is every chance that some of the gummy or undesirable material is also expelled out of the oil seed, which may not be considered good for the quality of the overall quality of the edible oil. So that is why kolu we prefer, even if it is more oil is left in the oil cake, but still many of the constituents which are not desirable, they are not present in the first time of oil expelled. But still, if you go for the khani, 20 to 30% oil remaining in the oil cake, well, that is not commercially viable unit. In Punjab, a number of people influenced by the TV advertisement of oil, cold pressed oil, have installed the kolus or powered kolu. This is old generation technology. But when they come to commercialization and selling the things, then they are not very comfortable, to be very frank. But then now people are installing both the units, powered ghanis, where first expressed oil is kept separately and graded separately, traded separately at separate price. Then whatsoever oil cake is obtained, it is then sent to the mechanical expeller for further expelling. So this way, people are working here. So this is all about this small scale operation at the cottage site. Even though we can improve little bit by going for some sort of water removal, maybe little bit of refining. But the commercial edible oil processing is RBD oil, refined, bleached, and deodorized oil. The process is more or less same. The only difference happens is the processed oil after filtering goes for refining, that is the neutralization of free fatty acid if present. Then it is going for bleaching where the color etc. is removed, then deodorizing. So that the oil coming from different oil seed, it looks similar. It is tasteless, it is odorless, it is colorless. So this is the purpose of this commercial unit. And whatsoever press cake we get, it is goes for solvent extraction so that the oil in the oil cake is kept to bare minimum of 1%. So RBD, refined, bleached and deodorized oil, they are tasteless, odorless, colorless, regardless of the oil seed from which it is expressed. As far as refining is concerned, actually these are the thing which we need to introduce to our small scale cottage industry also. Basically neutralization of the fatty acid, usually with the help of some alkali. So we need to look at the alkali which is part of our food chain if it is possible. So we should always try to devise our process. We try to modify the cottage industry so that some sort of neutralization of the fatty acids happen. Especially we are interested for the removal of phospholipids. So this is the chief villain as far as this cottage industry is concerned. Then bleaching means we have to remove any sort type of color from the oil. So whatsoever oil we get from the grocery shop, it is primarily because of the choice of the consumer that they want colorless oil. So therefore, oil needs to be bleached and type of clay is used for that helps for the bleaching of the oil. So bleaching removes oil components that increase the oxidation. Bleached oil can be used for a longer duration of time before this. They can be easily used for deep frying also before undesirable characteristics like flavor or dark color happens. So to accomplish bleaching, oil is mixed with the bleaching clay. This mixture is heated to about 100 degree, 90 to 110 degrees centigrade. Then the bleaching clay and the oil is either filtered or separated by the centrifugation. So this is a picture of the bleaching clay. next operation is deodorizing. So the pressed oil contains a variety of components. These components may either add or distract from the flavor or aroma of the oil. So the process of deodorizing means we remove all the volatile components so that we leave it flavorless and odorless. So for this, again, we have to use the heat. The process involved is steaming the oil, which removes any of the unwanted compound and separate it out from this in the form of vapors. So commonly available oil expeller in Punjab, well, usually we make use of 2 tons per day is a sufficiently high capacity plant for a agro processing complex where we are working for small production so that they are easily consumed, sold off to the nearby population. One of the way to designating the capacity is by the number of bolts. So we usually say 6-bolt oil expeller is better for a small scale operation, but otherwise we need to find out the barrel volume, power requirement, etc. and weight of the unit. Well, when we talk about the crushing oil expeller, it has to be 3 passage. So it already this expelling unit, mechanical expelling unit uh, is erected by having a number of strips placed together. In between these strips, we put on the spacer so that the oil which is expelled is drip out of that space. Again, it has got 3 sections. One is the feeding section, another is pressing section. Then there is a cake outgoing part. So this is how much thing is designed, but usually before the oil is expressed, it is considered that the temperature of this unit should be 60 degrees centigrade. So this means before putting oil into the expeller, it should be run dry for a short period of time so that it attains that temperature for the easy removal of the oil. Then the layout, the place where the oil expelling unit has to be placed, well, that should be a neat and clean one. Few of the things that we should always take care of. One is the door. Door should be covered with the screen to prevent the movement of the insect pest. Then there should be provision for washing, hand washing. Then there should be a tank available so that all the spilled material could be collected and dropped there. Then the cracks, etc. should need to be avoided there. Pipe should be smooth. Then there is a trap for the flies, that is a gummed trap. Strips, if an insect comes, it gets glued there. So unit should be very smooth. Floor area should be smooth. There should be need to be some counter for placing the things. So this is in general the sanitary hygienic regulation, how to handle when we are installing a small capacity oil expelling unit. Well, we all talked about PFME scheme. It is for the formalization of micro scale food processing operations. So therefore, the processing may provide, is definitely going to provide good opportunity to the farmers and entrepreneurs to create value added products. And it is a must for our country, for the people where we are looking for minimally processed, highly nutritious food. But because the shelf life of the product processed at small scale level is an issue, but it should always be linked with the rural supply chain so that it goes immediately consumed before it gets deteriorated. So by establishing a farm gate, a rural supply chain within the country in the nearby vicinities, definitely we can go for small scale operation. In fact, whole of the development, industrial development of country is through the small scale operations. So therefore, both type of units, enterprises are required. One is for at the village level for farm gate processing, another is for commercial purpose. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to invite Dr. K. A. Atmaselvi, Associate Professor and Head of the Center for Excellence in Grain Science, Nipton Thanjavur, to provide us with insights on the topic of value-added products from oil seeds and byproduct utilization. Madam has acquired her PhD in Food Process Engineering from SRM Institute of Science and Technology and ME in Agri Processing from TNAU Coimbatore. She started her career as lecturer in the Department of Food Processing and Preservation Technology at Avinashalingam University, Coimbatore. She served as Associate Professor and Head, Department of Food Process Engineering at SRM Institute of Science and Technology for about 15 years. Ma'am has guided several undergraduate and postgraduate students. She has published several research papers in reputed journals. Ma'am has organized various national and international conferences and filed 3 patents. We welcome you to this webinar, ma'am.
So before I go into validation of oil seeds, we just have a glimpse about the pre-treatments that is given to oil seeds, various method of extracting oil from oil seeds, and the refining steps. Magesh Kumar sir clearly covered everything about the oil extraction and the refining of oil seeds. So oil seed, as sir mentioned, to be dried to less than 9% moisture content for longer time storage. Oil seeds are also subject to various pre-treatments before oil extraction. As our director sir have mentioned, each oil seed is different. The size, shape, the characteristics, the hull attached to it is different. So it is subjected to various pre-treatment starting from cleaning, and then it goes for shelling. Shelling is the process where you remove the outer inedible cover, and then it is crushed. Crushing is the process where the size is reduced. It is then conditioned. Again, condition the process where the temperature and the moisture content of the product is increased, such that it could be made into flakes in the next step. If the oil is to be extracted using solvent extraction method, flake is preferred because of larger surface area. It will be easy for the solvent to penetrate and extract maximum amount of oil from the meal. And the various method of oil extraction, as Magesh Kumar sir have mentioned, it could be extracted using GANI. So benefit of oil extraction using GANI is that the temperature of the oil will not exceed 50 degrees centigrade. I mean, even during GANI, the care should be taken that temperature should not exceed 50 degrees centigrade. Only then the nutrient profile could be retained. Mechanical method, to common method of extracting oil is using either screw press or hydraulic press. And oil is also extracted using solvent. Benefit of using solvent is that it is possible to extract maximum amount of oil from oil seeds. As our Tyagi sir have mentioned, oil can also be extracted using supercritical fluid extraction, that is for premium oil or special oil like turmeric oil, which has got medicinal application. So after oil extraction, we get 2 products. One is the crude oil and the oil cake. The crude oil has to be refined. The first step in refining is degumming. So degumming is the process where you remove the gum. Gums are nothing but phosphatides or phospholipids. These phosphatides or phospholipids contain good amount of lecithin, which has got lots of industry application, including food industry. Then degummed oil goes to a second step, which is called the neutralization. It is a process where we remove the free fatty acids. Free fatty acid, if not removed, will lead to rancidity. And this free fatty acid, it is used in the soap industry. It then goes to a bleaching. So bleaching is the process where undesirable color compounds are removed from the oil. So bleaching will be done using a Buller's earth, activated clay, activated carbon. These, after use, it is also recycled. After usage, it could be used as the manure. It then goes to a deodorization process where the odor compound, the flavor compound that is present in oil, which is not desirable, will be removed during deodorization process by distillation. So during distillation, the volatile compound that is present in the oil will be separated and that will be collected. These volatile compounds contain lots of vitamins and minerals like tocopherol, and that is separated and isolated. It then goes to last process. Winterization is always an optional process where any wax that is present in the oil could be separated. Again, wax has got lots of industry application. In food industry, it is used as the edible protein. Now let's move into the value addition of groundnut. So groundnut before it is crushed. The outer cover, which is called the shell, is removed by a process called the defabrication. After which it goes to oil extraction. From oil extraction, we get de-oiled cake and the oil. This oil goes for refining. The groundnut, if you look at the nutrition profile of groundnut, not only contains oil, it also contains good amount of protein, 25.8 gram of protein. It contains fiber, and the fatty acid profile is that it contains not only saturated fatty acids, good amount of muca and pupa. So this comes under a category of unsaturated fatty acids, which is considered very good for health. And it is loaded with lots of vitamins and minerals, which contains biotin, niacin, thiamine, vitamin, and it also contains antioxidants, phytosterols like cisterol, which has got anti-cancer action. The de-oiled cake, from the de-oiled cake, we only remove the oil. It contains rest of all the nutrients in the cake. This should be effectively used for the separation of the protein and also other antioxidants that is present in the cake. Now let's look into the value addition of groundnut. The most popular and commercial product from the groundnut is the roasted peanut. So nowadays we get roasted peanuts in various flavor, and this is honey coated, and this is spicy or pepper coated, and this lemon and chili coated. This is caramel coated, and this is chocolate coated. So coating is one commercial feasible value addition to the groundnut. The other value addition that could be done to the groundnut is that it could be made into chicky. Chicky, this kind of chicky sweets that is prepared from groundnut. And peanut butter is again another commercial product that could be prepared using peanut. And these peanut butter is used in preparation of cake. And peanut flour can be prepared from the peanut acids, which could be ground and made into flour, or the de-oiled cake could be made into flour. And this flour has got lots of industrial application, like it could be used in preparation of cakes, cookies, bread. In addition of actually the groundnut or the peanut to the product enhances the flavor compounds. It gives a nutty flavor to the food product. It enhances the sensory attribute of the product that is prepared using a peanut or the groundnut. And other viable product that could be prepared from peanut is the peanut milk. The peanut milk is as good as almond milk, and the milk for the peanut or almond milk is in huge demand in the market because lots of people are looking for vegan product. So this milk has got lots of industrial applications. It could be used in preparation of curd or yogurt and in preparation of lots of desserts. The oil cake, I told you, from the oil cake, we only remove the oil. It contains rest of other nutrients, and the oil cake, we can prepare protein concentrate, which will have protein as high as 72%, or we can also isolate protein, and that will have 86% protein. And we all know there is huge demand for the protein in the market. And the peanut skin, we have various color of the skin in the peanut. And based on the color, the phytochemical compounds or the antioxidant that is present also differ. And this peanut skin could be used as the nutraceutical or a functional food, which could be used in preparation of again of various food products like herbal tea. And the skin can also be fortified in various food products in different proportions, like cookies. And it is also used as a feed. And the cake can also be used as a feed to the cattle, poultry, hatchery, and aqua feed. And this oil cake, after extraction of oil, is also used in preparation of manure for organic farm. And the shell is the another byproduct that you get from the coconut processing unit. The shell could be powdered and it could be made into pellet. And this pellet could be used as a fuel. And this powder is also used as the packing material, gives cushion effect to the packaging material. And the pellet could also be incinerated to get activated carbon. Next is rice bran. So rice bran, actually we have two types of rice bran. One is the raw rice bran and the parboiled rice bran. So the parboiled rice bran will comparatively more stable because as it is exposed to high temperature, The common problem with the rice bran is that it contains enzyme lipase. So enzyme lipase, if it is not inactivated, may lead to rancidity. So parboiled rice bran are considered more stable as it is heated during parboiling process, and this could be stored better than the raw rice bran. Mm. And this bran is first sieved to separate the broken rice. And this broken rice, which is present in the bran, it goes as the animal feed, or it could be separated and its value-added products can also be prepared from the broken rice. The bran that which you get is steamed. So this becomes an important step in rice bran processing. This is also called the stabilization of bran because this is done to inactivate the enzyme lipase, after which it goes to solvent extraction. So it is mixed with the solvent, and the mixture of oil and solvent is called as miscela. It is then heated to get the crude oil. Crude oil further it is refined to get the refined oil. The bran that we obtain also contains some amount of solvent in it. That could be heated to get the de-oiled bran. So de-oiled bran goes as the animal feed. If you look at the nutrition profile of rice bran oil, and this is also called as hot oil, as it contains good amount of NUPA and PUPA. So rice bran is very nutritious. It contains tocopherol, which is the antioxidant, which has got lots of health benefits. It also contains trochanol, and this is used in reduction of cholesterol. Again, oryzanol is also helping increasing the HDL and lowering the LDL. And it also contains swiculin, which is the antioxidant. The wax that is separated from the rice bran refining, it contains 2 to 6% of wax, and that is used in polish industry, and it is also used in edible coating or edible wrapping, and it also has a wide application in cosmetic. Rice bran oil contains vitamin E, and as I mentioned, oryzanol and vitamin B, and other phytochemicals. So rice bran, not only it's good in oil, it also contains good amount of protein, fat, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Rice bran not only enhances the nutrition profile of the product, it also increases the functional property of the product as such because it increases the emulsifying property of the product, water absorption property, and foaming property. So the addition of the rice bran helps in enhancing the texture or final quality of the product as well, not only enhancing the nutrition profile of the product. So rice bran now has got various applications. It could be used in bakery industries as different replacements to prepare various bakery products like cookies, muffins, pastries, all that. This is a small example where the rice bran is replaced with the wheat flour at the ratio of 10, 15, and 20%. So this increased the protein content of the product to a level of 3.43% when it is replaced with 20% bran without altering the sensory attributes. And rice bran also contains good amount of protein, and the quality of the protein is superior than the protein that is present in other food-based other products like peanuts, potato, and the benefit of the and this rice bran protein could be used as the infant food, and this could be used in the preparation of various gluten-free products and also used in cosmetic industry. Lecithin is one of the important products that could be separated from the gum in the rice bran, and the lecithin, as I've already mentioned, has got lots of industrial application, of course, in the food industry as well. It is used as the emulsifier, it is used as the viscosity modifier, it helps in increasing the shelf life, and is also used as the supplement. Rice bran wax. Rice bran wax. The wax could be used in coating of fruits and vegetables. It is also done where the wax could be coated onto meat, fish to enhance the shelf life of the product. And wax has got good application in cosmetic industries where it could be preparation of body butter, lip balms, and lipsticks. Our next product is coconut. So as you all know, coconut milk is equivalent to mother's milk. It contains good amount of lauric acid, which has the antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal property. And this coconut is rich in fiber, iron, potassium, and protein. And these are the health benefits of consuming coconut. So coconut or coconut milk is actually good to brain. This helps in treating brain-related disease like Alzheimer, as it contains lauric acid. So these are the products that could be made out of coconut, coconut milk, coconut butter, coconut water, nectar, coconut cream, coconut sugar, and coconut shreds. Virgin coconut oil is another commercially high-value product that could be prepared from the coconut. And coconut flour. This coconut flour has got lots of industrial application. We'll discuss it. And coconut milk, it's a coconut milk, so it is lactose free and gluten free and is preferred by the vegan community. And this coconut milk could be used in preparation of number of products. So you can prepare separate coconut butter from the milk, and you can also make toasted coconut butter where the coconut shred is toasted before the separation of milk and the butter. Coconut cream. Coconut cream has now got lots of industrial application in the ice cream industry and also in the bakery industry. So from the milk, we can separate this cream. So the cream will have 54% of water, 40% of fat, and 4.4% of protein. And this could be used in preparation of ice creams. IFPT have developed a technology to produce coconut, non-dairy coconut ice cream. And these are the health benefits of the non-dairy coconut ice cream. If any of you are interested in this technology, you can write to a director at the rate of ifpt.edu.in. Coconut milk can also be used in the preparation of coconut yogurt. The coconut milk is to be first heated to a temperature of 75 to 85 degrees centigrade. It is then cooled at 45 degrees centigrade. It is then mixed with the culture and incubated at 40 to 45 degrees centigrade for a period of 4 to 5 hours, and you get coconut yogurt. And this is also commercially available. And the golden coconut latte is milk coconut based product. You can also have variations in this where you can add chocolate, you can add meera, you can add honey or white sugar to make flavor to the coconut milk. And as a coconut flour is prepared by shredding the coconut. It could be prepared by extracting the oil, and the residue is dried and made into powder. The benefit of extracting oil and then shredding is that the flour will not get rancid because the milk, the coconut milk contains fat, and that is it is extracted and separated. And that powder could be stable, and that could be used in preparation of various products. It could be used in preparing extruded products, dairy-based products, bread, cookies, and all that. And other products that could be prepared, and these are of course the commercial product that is prepared and available in the market, packaged coconut water, snowball tender nut, and the coconut water can also blend it with the other juice, and where you can have blended juice, and frozen coconut water, and atta de coco is a fermented product, and milk. The coconut milk could be spray dried and we get similar to the cow's milk. Coconut syrup, coconut jam, and coconut yogurt, virgin coconut oil, as you mentioned, another important commercial product, and coconut sap, coconut cheese, and this could be used in preparation of various bakery products like cookies. And byproduct, everything could be used. Coconut, plant leaf, everything is used. The shell is also powdered. This is a good source of fiber, and this also has good application in different proportions in various bakery industries. The shell is impregnated to get charcoal and activated carbon. This activated carbon has got number of applications. It's also used in the oil industry to observe the color and flavor during refining process. So coconut shell, as I mentioned, could be powdered, and it could be used in proportions in various bakery products to enhance the fiber content, and this is also made into charcoal, and a number of decorative items can be made from this shell. And the milk residue, the coconut milk residue, it is used as the organic manure for the organic cultivation. And next is the value-added products from soybean. Soybean not only is for the oil extraction, it contains very good amount of protein, and lots of products to be prepared using soybean, a few of which are soy sauce, soy paste, soy milk. Soy milk is commercially available, and again lots of products like paneer, tofu, could be separated, value added to the soy milk. And the soy flour or the soy protein now has got lots of industrial application in the preparation of vegan meat. Mustard, Tyagi sir have mentioned the various products that could be prepared from the mustard. The mustard could be used in preparation of mustard dressing, mustard oil, mustard sauce. Again, mustard oil cake can also be used for preparation of protein. And sunflower seeds could be used in preparation of lots of desserts. It could be used in preparation of laddu, a chikki as it is prepared from groundnut, and can also be roasted and consumed as such. And it is also used in preparation of butter. So these are the list of value-added products that could be made from the oil seeds. And if you need anything about the oil seeds, you can write to a director at director@iftc.edu.in.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was such a detailed presentation. We got to know more about the value-added products from oil seeds and also the effective utilization of its bulk products. So we move on to the next technical talk, which is on quality characteristics of oilseed and extracted oil. For this session, I would like to invite Dr. Pradyuman Yadav, Senior Scientist, ICAR, IIOR Hyderabad. Sir has obtained his PhD and MSc degree with specialization in biochemistry from CCS Agricultural University, Hisar. Sir has around 15 years of research experience in the field of oil processing, oilseed cake, metabolomics, characterization and identification of trait-specific genotypes, etc. His research papers have been published in more than 30 reviewed journals, 15 popular articles, 10 book chapters, and 72 research abstracts. Sir has also developed many varieties and hybrids, such as safflower variety, castor hybrid, sunflower hybrid, and many more.
Good afternoon, everybody. I will be presenting on the oil characteristics of major edible oils and edible oils. So, outline of my presentation will be the fatty acid composition of different oils, WHO, American Heart Association, and Japanese and NIN guidelines for vegetable oil consumption, oil extraction processes. I think a lot of the previous speakers, they have discussed regarding this oil extraction processes, but I will not give more emphasis on this thing. And oil blending policy in India, vegetable oil brands in Indian market, major edible oil brands, and dietary recommendation of total fats and oils. So as we know that oil is liquid at room temperature and fat is solid or semi-solid at room temperature. This is the only difference in oils and fats physically, and chemically that saturation and unsaturation is also there. And it is providing around 9 kilocalories per gram of the energy, and majorly it is used for this caloric and nutritional value, and it is also giving that flavor to other food components, and due to its high calorific value, it delays the digestion, increase palatability of foods, and feelings of satiety also it gives. And the most important thing is it is a carrier of vitamin A, D, E, K. These are the fat soluble vitamins. So this is the major this thing for oils and fats. So as per this codex, edible oils are foodstuffs which are composed of primarily of the glycerides of fatty acids and only from vegetable sources. They may contain small amount of other things also, like phosphatates, unsaponified matter, and these things. So this is the major, the glycerol, and these are the different fatty acids, you can say. So these can be triglyceride, diglyceride, monoglycerides also. These are the unsaturated fatty acids like linoleic, alpha linolenic, and gamma linoleic fatty acids. These are the common fatty acids, and these are not commonly found in not found in these vegetable oils like EPA and DHC. Although these are essential. So, what is the importance of vegetable oil in our diet? As we know that this is the integral part of our diet, from curry making to puri making, vada dosa, everywhere we use these oils only, and these are essential for the sources of essential fatty acids also. Apart from that, they have some regulatory and this for brain cell metabolic regulations and hormone and prostaglandin control also, and they are also giving this. Already I had discussed the taste, palatability, flavor, and mouth feel to our body, and this thing also I have told. And why these are essential? Because our body cannot synthesize some of the fatty acids, so we have to take from the other sources like unsaturated fatty acids. So that linoleic and linolenic acids. So we are taking from oils only, and this AL and DHA, these are conditional essential, because some people they cannot synthesize absorb this ALA and linoleic also. Then directly we have to give DHA and GLA. These are the importance of these essential fatty acids. I will not going to read. Why these are essential? Because this, suppose this is alpha linolenic acid, this is essential fatty acids, but in some people these enzymes are not present. So directly we have to give either this DHA or EPA. This is the typical table for this fatty acid composition of different edible oils. Here we can see that coconut, palm oil, these are highly saturated. They are containing highly this saturated fatty acids, and this olive and these are having more 18 means monounsaturated fatty acids. Rice bran, mustard oil, and corn, these are having small amount of ALA also. As I discussed earlier, this ALA is essential fatty acids our body cannot synthesize. LA is also essential, but it is evidently found in all oils. So we will more focus on the 18-3, that is alpha linolenic acid. So here we can say in the coconut oil, 91% saturated fats are there. In palm kernel oil, 83. Like in palm, this 49%, and this all other, this corn, cotton seed, sunflower, safflower, soybean, linseed, and sesame, they are having saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated, but the bias towards the polyunsaturated fatty acid also. But according to the American Heart Association and these WHO recommendations, none of the oil is meeting the requirements. So if you take the case of American Heart Association recommendation, the ratio of saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fatty acids should be 1-1-1, means 33, 33, 33. But here we can see none of the oils, they are having this ratio. If you take the CCM, it is having 15, 41, and 43. And like this linseed, though it is not purely edible, but I have considered this 9, 19, and 68. And in this PUFA also, we should take this ratio of omega-6 and omega-3. The omega-3 is ALA only. Fatty acid should be 5 to 10. WHO and NIN recommendations means per day we have to take 2 to 4 grams per day. So here we can see that none of the oil is meeting this requirement, daily requirement. So there are so many options are there for this thing. So for making this according to the guidelines, those are discussed later. So oil extraction process, I think previous speakers they have described in length. So I will not give more emphasis on this. That first I will, this is this pressing method. Oil extraction from pressing methods means the virgin oil, the Codex standard. According to that, the virgin oils are obtained without altering the nature of oil by mechanical procedures. For example, expelling or pressing. And here they have mentioned that heat application should not be there, and they may be purified by water washing, settling, filtering, and centrifugation only. No additives are permitted in this virgin oil. But according to the German standards, the virgin oil is reserved for oils obtained in native or raw form, no heat treatment at all, only pressing of untreated raw material by screw pressed or other mechanical extraction, and purification of resulting oils by sedimentation, centrifugation, or filtration. And the cold press oils, according to these Codex standards, here the cold press oils are obtained without altering the oil by mechanical procedures only, expelling or pressing without the application of heat. Here we can see that virgin oils of these German standards and the cold press oils of the Codex standards are they are having same these guidelines. They may have been purified by washing, water, settling, filtering, and centrifugation. No food additives are permitted in cold press oil. In contrast to this Codex Alimentary, cold press oil in the German guidelines refers only to the extraction process. No application of heat in this step. Therefore, cold press oils can be processed from roasted seeds, or use of hot water and steam is allowed in case of Codex Alimentary. for cold pressing, but such treatments has to be indicated on the product label. It can be concluded that virgins are also cold pressed, but cold pressed oils are not stringent virgin oils. And in this European Commission guidelines, they have clearly mentioned that this virgin or extra virgin olive oil should be extracted below 27-degree temperature from the first mechanical pressing of olive paste by traditional extraction system using hydraulic pressed oil. So here, the cold extraction can be used for VVO, virgin olive oil or extra virgin olive oil obtained at temperature 27 degree by percolation or centrifugation of the olive paste. Such criteria in India have not been established till now. So we are following there only. And for this oil extraction also, previous speakers, they have decided, but they have told about these things. So I will not go in this thing. Here, this important thing is that whether this cold press oil is good or solvent extracted oil, means the refined oil. So here, this I have made this table. What is their advantages and disadvantages? Means heat treatment in cold press oil, we are not giving heat treatments, no chemical treatment, no refining, no harmful solvent residues, added chemicals or preservatives are not there. Natural and antioxidants like phenolics, tocopherols, these things will be there. These parameters will means in the solvent extraction, we give heat treatment, chemical treatment, refining, and solvents may be residue, but nowadays the technology is very advanced and these solvent residues are not present in these things. They may add some preservatives and chemicals also. Partially, that natural antioxidant, though they are present in this cold press oil, but in this, partially they might be removed. The most important thing is in the cold press oil that natural flavor will be there, but in the solvent extracted methods that flavor will decrease drastically. Both are cholesterol free, that is okay. And oil recovery is the major concern. In case of cold press methods, oil recovery is less. In case of solvent methods, oil recovery is very high. And the major disadvantage of cold press method is the metals, polyaromatic hydrocarbon compounds, insecticides, and pesticide residues might be present in the cold press oils, but these things totally they are removed in case of solvent extraction methods. So I have shown in the table that none of the oil is meeting the requirement of the WHO or AHA guidelines. So there are some oil modification methods like change to alter the fatty acid composition, like hydrogenation, enterification, fractionation, blending. So majorly these four methods are there. So the blending or mixing of oils, this is the major that oil modification method used worldwide. So what is the oil blending in India? Oil blended vegetable oils is an admixture of two edible vegetable oils, refined or raw or both, in which the proportion of any oil is not less than 20%. Means we can add in a ratio of 20-80, 30-70, 40-60, and 50-50. But that one oil should not be less than 20%. And these are different types of blends like type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 is an admixture of any two refined edible oils, where one oil may be refined, solvent extracted rice bran oil. And in the type 2 blend oil, an admixture of any oil, any one of the edible grade of raw edible oil and one refined edible oil, where one oil may be refined, solvent extracted rice bran oil. And in the type 3, an admixture of any two edible grade of expressed raw edible oils except rice bran oil. So what are the admixtures with other oils and adulterants? Means the blended vegetable oils shall be free from argemone oil, hydrocyanuric acid, mineral oil, other non-edible oils, and adulterants like kusum, castor, neem oil, karanja oil, animal fat, and triacyl phosphate. So these are in the guidelines only. And these are the FSSAI guidelines for packaging and these things. So blended oil should not be sold in loose form. It should be sold in packaging weighing not more than 15 liters. The container with the blended vegetable oil shall be tamper-proof. It shall also not be sold under the common or generic name. But that these things should be there. Blended edible vegetable oil. The sealed package shall be sold or offered for sale only under AgMark certification mark. And like the FSSAI has amended the word to be used for the weight of the blended oil vegetable oil package. Instead of 15 liters, the packaging of blended vegetable oils will now weigh not more than 15 kg. So we have done a market survey 2 years back, I think, and we have collected information about the major oil brands and what is their composition. So those are available in supermarket. So these are different edible oils. These things we have collected, and we have according to their label claim, we have noted their fatty acid composition, and this like saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fatty acids, and trans fats and omega-3 also we have seen. So single oils means for olive we got 14 oils. Those are not blended, only single oils. Like in case of sunflower, 12 brands, major brands. Other brands might be there, but major brands that present in the supermarkets. 9 rice brand, canola and mustard 5 brands, groundnut 4, palm oil 4, sesame 3, coconut 3, soybean 1, and safflower 1 brand. These number of brands were there in the supermarket, and we have checked their fatty acid profile, and none of this edible oil is meeting the requirements of the WHO. And the omega-3 content is only in the canola and mustard oil. We could find from 7.5 to 11 grams. Other was not having this thing, only canola oil and soybean oil. So earlier I told you that there are ways for the modification to alter this fatty acid profile. So blended vegetable oils are also present in the market. So we have seen that these number of blended vegetable oils were present, and I have gone through their fatty acid profile. Here we can see that after blending also, their fatty acid profile is not according to the guidelines. Means this, I have this Fortune Vivo, they have not mentioned these things. Olive Active 23, 42, 35. This Olive Smart, that is canola and rice bran, they have mentioned 12, 54 and 34 grams. Omega-3 content is also not up to the guidelines in the blended vegetable oils also. So here we can see that after blending also, the blending is not majorly done for alter the fatty acid profile. It is mainly for economic reasons. People are blending these things, not to give the best oil. And in olive oil also, in the suppose if you see this olive has the sun drop light, the olive oil is there, but not that it, because olive oil nowadays this is buzzword, people want to use olive oil, so they are mixing 20% olive oil, and instead of that they are giving name to this brand name. So here we can conclude that neither single oil nor blended oil provides the balanced composition of saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. Therefore, adhering to particular oil for long-term use must be avoided. So these are the calorific requirement of different age groups. So here we can see for a male, for a 50 adult male, if you take, it is around 2,800 to 3,000, or above 50 it is 2,000 to 400 or 2,800 for these things. And for sedentary lifestyle it is less only, the calorie requirement. So here we'll try to calculate how much oil is needed for these different age groups. So one example we will take. This is the calorific requirement. So here we will see for an adult sedentary calorific requirement is 2,000. I have mentioned in the previous this thing. So 30% of that 2,000 is 600 calories, and 1 gram of fat is 9 kilocalories. So per day 66 gram is needed, and per month it is 1.98 kg is needed, and for whole year it is 23.7 kg is needed for a person with sedentary lifestyle. And we are consuming around 12 to 14, and now it is increased to 16 also. And in this also, different oils, means like ratio of saturated, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated, and DHA for different age groups. It is different. I have taken from FAO WHO expert that white paper. So from the joint FAO and there's expert concentration of fat and fatty acid in human nutrition. This from, I have taken this slide from there. So here we can see that for small children the DHA is essential. Or after that 2 to 18 years or adults, the DHA is not required, because we can convert that from ALA and alpha linolenic acid. Like that, saturated fatty acids is not good for these small children. So I will go. We will go with this. Means if per year if you want 23.76 kg, then how much we are taking and whether we are fulfilling a requirement or we are taking excess. So here from this thing, it is clear that visible fat, that 23 point around 24 kg, that is means total fat requirement minus invisible fat requirements, means how much invisible fats we are taking. So from the literature survey, I came to that around 50% of that total fat requirement is coming from the invisible sources like cereals, pulses, eggs, milk, and what dry fruits we are taking. So from 24, we can say that we can, if you take around 12 kg per year of the visible fats, that is sufficient for our nutritional requirements. And why that now that I will come to this, I come to this deterioration of oils and fats. Then already the previous speakers, they have mentioned that this due to the air and this moistures, the oils deteriorate and the oxidation processes happens, and their oak flavor also comes. When we'll heat or rinse it, then also this deterioration will come. So this depends upon the fatty acid composition, and if you use more antioxidants, either synthetic or natural antioxidants, this deterioration can be delayed, and we should store them at a prescribed or adequate places also in. There should be low moisture and this in, if preferably in vacuum or less oxygen spaces, and hydrolysis also, that should moisture should be very less to avoid the lipase activity. So like that, if you add antioxidants and we will take care of the storage, then up to certain mark we can decrease the deterioration or oxidation of the oils. So these are the major antioxidants and nutraceutical presents in the oils, like in rice bran, oryzanol, the stearyl, lecithins, phytosterols, tocopherols and tocotrienols. Tocotrienols mostly in the palm oil, stanols and phenolic acids like sesamin, sesmol, sesmolinin, sesame oil. So these are the antioxidants. They also helps in vivo and ex vivo for these oils. Means when we'll take oil, eat oil, then also this will help, and if you store the oils, then also antioxidants will help in reducing the antioxidation process. So here we can say that if we are taking saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, and high linolenic, in polyunsaturated also high linolenic acid, then how the oxidation rate will go. If you take only monounsaturated fats, and then oxidation will be very less. If you take saturated fats, oxidation will be very less. If you take monounsaturated fats, it will increase slightly. But in case of polyunsaturated fats, that oxidation will increase drastically. And if linolenic acid is there, it will be very high, that oxidation rate. So to reduce this oxidation rate, we have to add antioxidants. So this graphs tell that if the density with no antioxidants and antioxidants in fresh oil. So this here we can see with no antioxidant that rancidity will, in no time the oil will be rancid. If we add antioxidants, then it will reduce it will increase the time for the rancidity, and the oil is fresh, and if we add antioxidant also, then we can increase the storage time of the oil. So it will be helpful for storing also, and it is for health benefits are also there. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really an informative session. We'll be moving on to the next technical talk on oilseed processing industry insight and experience sharing. For this session, we have with us Dr. Krishnadev D. Yadav, Senior Vice President, Technical, AAK India Private Limited, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Sir has been a trailblazer for around 15 years with multiple programs to his credit, including customer co-development. Sir is equipped with a business acumen honed by more than 35 years of industry experience and a customer-centric business philosophy. His visionary ideas and steadfast commitment have catalyzed the company's year-on-year growth in the edible oils and fat sector, and also received the continuous appreciation from industrial clients such as Nestle, Mondelez, Britannia, Parle, etc. We welcome you to this webinar, sir.
So, first of all, let me thank the organizers, Professor Loganathan and NIFTM Tanjore team for providing us this opportunity to be with you all this afternoon. So, I think my session chairman, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, Mahesh and all team have very nicely covered the oilseed processing part and some of the GMB factors and all. And also, I think Dr. Atma Selvi has very nicely covered the value-added products that can be had in this category. So quickly to take you through the overall agriculture scenario, we all know, I mean, oilseeds crop is totally dependent on the monsoon, and good monsoon always results into a good oilseed crops, and this all oilseed crops totally account for almost 3.5 to 4.5% of our GDP. So very important to have industry focused on how to have productivity and ensure availability of good quality oils at affordable prices. So these are key major 10 oil seeds. I think previous speakers have already covered this, I believe. And soybean, cotton seed, groundnut, sunflower in that descending order, rapeseed. These are the major oils of Indian origin and play a major role in our economy. And as mentioned by previous speaker, also soybean, groundnut, and sunflower, they almost cover almost 80% plus 90% of the oil seed requirement. The total domestic, area under cultivation is almost 29 million hectare, and the average yield is only 1100 to 1200 kg. This is a real matter of concern, and I think we all as a scientist, both agricultural scientist and then subsequently food processing team, have to really think on value addition subsequently and how to increase the productivity at the farm level so that the farmer is ensured of getting a better returns on his investment. And total, if you see edible oil per capita consumption, it is right now it is 16.5 to 17 kg, and we are a net importer actually of edible oils because the total consumption is 22.5 to 23 million tons, which means that there is a almost gap of 65%, I would say, gets imported in the country of our total requirement, and only 35 to 40% gets produced. And we are a net importer of oils and amounting to almost 160 lakh crores, 1.6 lakh crores, or 20 billion US dollars. And total turnover of oilseed sector is around 35 billion. So this necessitates, as additional secretary also emphasized, and Professor Loganathan also emphasized, we need to look into both productivity and even the losses, and all previous speakers covered how to have better productive cultivation and processing, so that we are able to cut down our imports on this. We all know almost 65 to 70% of our forex goes into edible oil and crude petroleum oil. And this is really a lot of burden to our Indian economy. And we all need to, and government of India has made a, movement towards this in the recent budget. We all know palm plantation, which palm oil we all know has the highest per hectare yield, and it is going to be the most cheapest oil available, and one of the good quality oil, I must say, as far as for food processing industry is there, because it has got 50% saturated, 50% unsaturated. So a lot of focus is going to be, to be Atmanirbhar Bharat, we need to have palm oil plantation, because almost 33 to 40% of the total oil requirement is met with palm oil, and we are totally dependent on countries like Indonesia and Malaysia. So even with this, increased palm plantation and more focus on, increasing the productivity of local, uh, indigenous oils, definitely this gap is going to reduce, but still we will be, in by 25, 26, this overall availability still will be, 13.5 to 14 million tons, and gap of 11 to 12 million tons is still going to be there. Along with this productivity and all, as I think all our previous speakers covered, processing of edible oils, and most important in this, I think, how to modernize our ancient methods or old methods of extraction, and more focus has to be, I think previous speakers also emphasized, it is on the pre-cleaning and pre-treatment of seeds, so that we get a better quality oil and oil yield from this, and also the meal that we get, you know has to be put for better value addition than, exporting it or utilizing it for cattle feed. And we all know India as a country, we are protein malnutrition is still a issue, and we need to ensure that all these edible oil seeds, majority of them, after oil is extracted, contain almost 40 to 50% of oil into it, protein into it, and how to, extract this in the most effective way, most efficient way, so that we get a value added products. I'm sure, I think Dr. Sanjeev Kumar and even I have been in touch with CFET Ludhiana. The team is doing excellent work in value addition part, I must say. I had the opportunity to interview Dr. Sanjeev and Dr. D.N. Yadav, last year, and they're doing a wonderful job towards getting protein concentrate or protein isolate, which are going to change the overall economy of the business we are into. So I'm not going to touch upon more on the extraction methods and all. I mean, team earlier speakers have very nicely covered it. But in this, what I would like to stress upon, that this all needs to be modernized, even though we are focusing on medium and small scale industries. But let me put it, sustainability and process efficiency and cost effectiveness is, and most important, food safety and quality management systems have to be imbibed with even small processors also, because that is where we can be differentiative from others, and in although India is a net importer of oils and fats, I think there is still some opportunity where, although we are highest consumption within country, but there is a scope, I would say, if we follow good manufacturing practices, good care during processing, pre-cleaning of the seed, pre-treatment, improving the extraction of oil yield through maybe enzyme assisted and all our friends earlier described. So there is a lot of scope where we can improve the quality of oil that we extract, because moment you go to solvent extraction, no doubt we are able to recover all the oil, we are definitely going to get an inferior quality oil than what we get by expeller method. So in this abroad, I am aware a lot of focus is there, on how to cut down on the energy. We have got series of expellers, and still the cake contains 7 to 8% say oil into it. Now, instead of having so many mechanical expellers, uh, abroad the concept is to go for maybe something like an Anderson type screw, pressing method or extruder. Already in, oil preparation, seed preparation. In case of mustard, people are using, expanders, which is cooking and then extrusion and expansion to get a better oil recovery and maximum in the mechanical pressing stage. I think a lot of improvement is further needed into this to improve the overall oil yields and also the quality of meal that we get. And most important in this is how to take care of contaminants, so lot of opportunities of export when we say are going to be there, but how are we going to do it? When we want to go for export of oils, we need to match to the global standards. So if India wants to, local to global concept we want to implement, we need to upgrade our systems, both processing, preparatory of the seeds and all, and even the contaminant management is going to be very, very important. We all know, certain contaminants like moss and mow come from the lubricant or plastic and all that we use. So system has to be designed, right from acceptance of the seed to processing of it in a way. So total risk mitigation plan to take care of these food contaminants, is going to be of importance. And there is an opportunity, to have, because we in India we have got, palm is saturated oil. We have got coconut oil, which is very good oil in spite of being, highest saturation, but the quality of saturated fatty acids are really of good quality. And now it's proven beyond doubt that coconut oil is a good oil. So, going forward, how to process our products at par with global standards. So, Dr. Atma Selvi did mention about the virgin coconut oil. Huge potential is there and the nutritional benefits that it has. So, we need to make our systems good GMP to be followed right from sourcing to final product, taking care of oxidative changes and perfect nitrogen blanketing. Even the packaging material plays an important role. So also some people who want to go for further processing to refined oils and all, there again we need to be taking care of food contaminants like 3-MCPD and G. In India still legislation is not there on that, but in the time to come it's already legislation in Europe, and it's going to be there in times to come here in India also. So industries need to be prepared for it. Also, the oil meal that we produce, even after solvent extraction and all, we all know many of them have got the anti-nutritional factors, and also soya, for example, the urease activity and the protein dispersibility index and all. So they are very important if you want to take it to extraction of protein and the making a value added products out of that. So I mean. Palm oil still is going to be continuing as a major oil, because of the per hectare yield and all. But we need to focus on, as I said, byproducts like oil seed or cake or meal to get a value added products. And we all know if we make our diet rich in protein and balanced safa mufa pufa, as Dr. Pradyumn also said, WHO standards and all. So they have got managing ability through diet, both of diabetics and even the cardiovascular diseases and all, and the obesity, and a lot of focus is there. We all know 2023 is a millet year declared by government of an India, and even we are trying to see that even the whole world accepts this concept of millets, which are multigrain atta or millets and all, which are again low GI carb diets and all can be developed, or gluten free diets can be developed. So tree born seeds is another, I think, opportunity I see. Chocolate consumption in India is quite low and it's going to grow. And we have got almost 9 to 10 types of tree-borne oil seeds, right from sal, mahua, karanja, kokum, dhupa, dhrambe, fulvara, even watermelon seeds. Oil has got a properties very similar to cocoa butter like. So we need to focus on these tree-borne seed oils also, which are nothing but going to be a cocoa butter equivalent or cocoa butter improver kind of properties, and the tribals who are involved into it, they can get a better earning. We can improve their livelihood, and uh, overall collection of these will go high if they get a better remuneration and value addition that is going to be there. So chocolate consumption, as we all know, in India is quite low. It is 200, 250 gram as against 1 kg global average. So there is a lot of opportunity to focus on these kind of oils also, apart from the traditional regular oils that we have. Regular oils also, like we have got a huge opportunity, virgin cold pressed oils, our colleagues, friends enumerated on. So sesame, groundnut, mustard, mustard, uh, which is high erucic rapeseed oil. You know, uh, Europe, it has got less acceptance because of the high erucic acid and all. But frankly, if you ask me as a nutrition scientist, it is one of the best edible oil, nutritionally balanced that we have. And we all know, many of you as a formulator, mustard oil can be used in even weight reduction formulation or recipe also, because of its very high content of erucic acid, or further hydrogenation, it becomes, behenic and all. And we all know, by virtue of being a long chain fatty acids, their digestibility and all is relatively low. So you can enjoy the taste of food using these oils and still not have a less problem of weight gain and all. Also, sea buckthorn oil, evening primrose borage. I think Prime Minister's theme to have this, one district, one product concept can be very well implemented through focusing on these local oils, local produce that we have, and value added products that, wheat germ oil, black currant, or evening primrose oil. I am told Kodaikanal and that side of Tamil Nadu has production of evening borage or borage, black currant oil and all, because the conditions are very suitable to that. So we can have these nutritional oils. Seabuckthorn oil, lot of work is being done by DRDO. At Leh and Ladakh, they have got a special lab and monitoring and cultivation of this seabuckthorn oil, which is very rich in omega 7 fatty acids, which have got inner beauty enhancement kind of properties and all. So, lot of opportunities we as an industry can see, and whatever we do, I think this sustainability is going to be a big platform in the times to come. And we, India, also is a part of WHO and FAO, which has launched Food Sustainability Summit 2030, wherein we have to respect for environmental and sustainable governance, safety. So reducing the carbon footprint, and also these are going to be challenges, and how to minimize the wastages, or like if you go for protein, say soya meal to soya protein concentrate or isolate, we need to uh, while producing soya protein concentrate or to isolate, lot of water effluent is there. So how to minimize that? I'm sure I have been interacting with CFET, and they have worked a lot on it, how to recycle and have a zero discharge kind of effluent concept. So probably research institutes, government will already come up with this plan, and support and subsidy to the small scale and medium size entrepreneurs, and providing uh, productivity linked benefits and all, and support. So both government, industry, research institutes, and policymakers and all have to think on a long-term perspective, and coordination with each other is very very important. So this partnership, I'm sure what NIFTEM Tanjore has organized this program. I'm sure Tanjore, CFET Ludhiana, even CFTR and all, or NIFTM, even Kundli. So institutes like this can really help, small scale industry people, to make value added products of a world class quality, and that is how the manufacturer is going to get a better price, and he can pass it on ultimately to the farmer, whose income our prime minister, honorable prime minister, wants and has vision to double his income. So we need to focus on, and even the industry people need to focus, small scale entrepreneurs need to focus on value added products rather than me too kind of generic products, where if the demand is uh, you know uh, if production is too high, demand and price goes down, and farmer doesn't get a price for it, and he is again demotivated not to cultivate or produce it. Also, last month I had interaction with ICAR and IOO at Hyderabad scientists, and they have developed lot of good varieties, where like soybean having high oleic, or flaxseed oil is a very good oil, having, so flaxseed and mustard are the very good oils, having essential omega 3 fatty acids, and at a much affordable price vis-a-vis EPA and DHA. Although the conversion rate from ALA to EPA DHA is almost one tenth or even lower than that, but even at that increased level of consumption, where we are able to meet EPA and DHA requirement of our body, probably these are going to be the oils. Virgin coconut oil has got immense health benefits in treatment of cancer. There are reports. So India has got all these resources, so we need to knit these resources and channelize this all these knowledge base and support to real industries. And we, already Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Food Processing Industry is extended their hand, and Prime Minister's office is very much focused on startups and promoting them. We all, industry, research institutes, and government have to be proactively working on how to have a sustainable growth and inclusive growth, so that we are, not only able to feed our countrymen and be self-reliant or Atmanirbhar Bharat, but also able to export these products. There is a huge requirement unless until, but we need to meet their quality and food safety. Contaminants like phthalates or bisphenol, 3-MCPDG, MOSH and MO. These are the challenges, and with good manufacturing practices, we can bring this under control. And even Dr. Pradyum talked about the blended oils and also no two oils can meet the fatty acid profile of what WHO says. You need to go for more than 3 or 4 oils sometimes to really make it a nutritionally more healthier oil. And recently FSSAI has allowed this. Even flaxseed oil can be added in the blended oil at 5% level to meet the omega-3 fatty acid requirement. So we need to do hand holding of medium and small scale industries, but not cutting the corners. This is where sometimes we skip and do shortcuts. Remember one thing: in the times to come, we need to respect sustainability. We need to respect the food safety is a non-compromisable factor, whether it is for India or it is for the export purpose. The importance of food safety and continuous innovation in our industry, is the need of the hour. And I'm sure with this partnership and better engagement and interaction with research institutes like NIFTM and CFTRI or industry and government, we can really make the dream of Prime Minister making our country Atmanirbhar, skilled and healthy India really true and becoming global leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such inspiring thoughts with us. Thank you.